In my previous video on the Idubbbz and Tana Mongeau situation, made before Idubbbz uploaded his content cop on Tana Mongeau, I discussed why Idubbbz has the power to damage big-time YouTube channels when other big YouTubers, who a lot of people follow, don't have the power to damage big channels the way Idubbbz does. Now Idubbbz has uploaded a content cop on Tana, and indeed, since uploading the content cop, Tana's numbers have gone down. She's lost almost 15,000 subscribers. I don't know if that will continue, but the Idubbbz effect is real. I said that one reason Idubbbz has this power is he doesn't do content cops on just anybody. He pretty much sticks only to people who deserve it. Because his content cops stick to people who deserve it, instead of getting a reputation for being a bully, the way Onision and Leafy has, Idubbbz has more of a reputation for bullying the bullies. Interestingly, the content cop on Tana, unlike his content cops on Leafy and Keemstar, almost entirely just focused on Idubbbz's own experience with Tana. He could have called her out for embellishing her stories about a guy who supposedly is stalking her, or he could have talked about how she treated her former assistant, but he didn't. I also stated that if Idubbbz does do a content cop on Tana, he's likely going to have new information or a new perspective on Tana that will make it difficult to disagree with him, and in fact he did both of these. First, he pointed out that not only did Tana tell him to kill himself on Twitter because he used the N-word, she also said that she'd be happy if he loses all of his subscribers and breaks both of his legs on YouNow.
If Idubbbz broke both of his legs and lost all of his subscribers, I would be genuinely happy.
In light of this, it doesn't seem so bad that he'd make a content cop known for ruining channels on someone who openly wants his channel ruined and both his legs broken. A common criticism about Tana is that her story times are embellished and at least partially fabricated so they sound more interesting and dramatic. So Idubbbz wisely baited Tana into a storytime video on him by purchasing a VIP meet and greet ticket and going to one of her shows and asking her to use the N-word, knowing that she'd probably make a story time and embellish it enough that he could expose her exaggerations and outright fabrications by showing us what actually happened. He did a great job of montaging clips of what actually happened with clips of her story time on what happened. From this we can see that Tana fabricated a lot of things in her story time, like claiming that Idubbbz held her neck in a lock, grabbed onto her, and that she had to wrestle away from him, none of which was true. In reality, all she had to do was walk away from him without any problems.
We're going to be like the last ones to see Tana, so I'm pretty thrilled about that. And we're going to be like that little cherry on top, so that little whipped cream fluff frosting. Is it worth it? Hell yeah, it's worth it.
Let's go for a second picture because this camera's like for the future.
Say nigger.
He walks up to me and he kind of like locks his arm around me, like around my neck like this. And it wasn't like it was like a chokehold or anything. It was very like firm and like tight, like I couldn't have really gotten it out, if that makes sense. I'll explain that in a second. And so the guy looks at me and he wraps his arm around me and he looks in the camera and he goes, say, and puts his thumbs up and then like blank and he says the N-word, like hard R. N-word, like say N-word, like hard R, like smiling loud as fuck, like yells it, and then like looks at me and looks into the camera, like
say nigger.
Please imagine like say blank, like yelling, thumbs up, arm locked around me.
Say nigger.
And I literally like I don't even know how to describe this moment to you guys. I never understood how people would feel in moments like that where you were scared for so many reasons, for your life, for other people's lives. So then I kind of try to like break free, you know what I mean, like get his arm away from me, and so like the first time I tried to, like he didn't like let go, and that's where my brain instantly is like, okay, does he have a gun, does he have a knife, like whatever. This was very quick, it wasn't like he held me in for much longer, and then I pull away harder and finally pull away. That's where my brain is like, do I run, do I scream, do I cry, do I hide, do I cuss him out, do I ask him what's wrong? Like I don't know what to do, you know. And he's just looking at me like with the creepiest, most terrifying smile.
Idubbbz goes on to show how Tana lied about how pugnacious he was.
In this section of the video, I want to address the exaggerations and small details that she embellishes just to make the story more interesting.
And I look at him and I'm like, no, and like we had to kick him out. He was like trying to fight people, and it was really a sketchy
situation, to be honest with you. I was like trying to fight people, and I was like trying to fight people, and
We're getting kicked out, apparently. Let it go. I just want I'm VIP, though. I'm VIP.
That was just a bit of editing. No punches were actually thrown. Believe it or not, I wasn't there to fight 12-year-olds or your security detail. If you can't tell, I'm not the strongest, most ripped dude on the planet. Wasn't really interested in fighting, just interested in the little bit of tomfoolery with you.
It should be noted that Tana didn't recognize Idubbbz when she made her storytime video, and she thought he was just an ordinary guy who would not be able to expose her or present his side of a story to a large audience. I have to wonder what would have happened if she did recognize Idubbbz. After all, he was wearing his glasses, which makes him more recognizable. I suppose it's possible that she could have embellished the story anyway. Tana did tweet out after the video was uploaded that she's going to apologize. She tweeted, "I love you guys, but I have made a lot of mistakes, and the right thing to do is to own up to them and move on. An apology will be coming soon. I owe the people who support me and love me the honest truth and a detailed apology. Thank you to those supporting me through my wrongs. I love this family. Thank you for saving my life. I've made so many mistakes, and even at 18, I'm still trying to learn. I intend on owning up to everything and hoping you'll forgive me. I love you." I think an apology, if done right, could actually help Tana mitigate any damage done to her channel. Her apology should include an apology to Idubbbz for lying about him, and an apology to other people she might have lied about in her story times who are not as fortunate as Ian to have huge YouTube channels to expose her with. If, on the other hand, she only apologizes for using the N-word, or she just makes some sort of vague apology to her fans, she would have missed the point and it won't help her. Tana would not have to totally ride his dick. I think that even Idubbbz would agree that what he did was rude, but I still think that she should apologize to him. As of right now, she hasn't apologized yet, but that might change even by the time I upload this video, so we'll see what happens.